Okay, let's go again. Try and get another 15 minutes game. So Torsen, see, has he beaten anyone else since that game? Seems quite dangerous on the 15-minute time control. Suffering, 1893. Oh no, not a London system. Oh dear, I could try this, just going for D5 control. So it's torturing me with a London system. Good nickname for a London system. Player. Alright, anyway, so okay. Maybe C5. Isn't playing it with C3, that's more exciting than usual. Bishop's dangerous here. Playing knight here to C7, A6 and B5. Try and get some queenside play going, maybe play on C4. So knight C7, A6, B5. Takes, D5 will drop. So plays for E4. On the other hand, this knight E5 he just takes, gives me a bad bishop. What about bishop takes C3 as an alternative to all this? Because I remember losing lots of games with this idea of knight E5 getting a really bad bishop. So bishop C3 is actually on the cards here. If I can survive a kingside onslaught, that might actually be a useful idea. So knight G7 after, but maybe not A6 and B5 if he has that B file control. Let's send me out with B file. Can I get my queen fianchettoed? I'm going to say fianchetto rather than fianchetto. Someone's mentioned that earlier on YouTube, and maybe they've got a point. Because I like cello. It sounds nice, cello, the musical instrument. So why not fianchetto? Okay, stopping bishop c3. What about just going here anyway then? So a6 and b5 back on the cards. a6 queen b8, maybe bishop c8 b5, or rook a7 bishop 8 a8 b5 is a slow way of preparing. So much for b5 ideas. Okay. It's clamping down. So I've got a bit of a restricted position here. Play for b5 anyway again, slowly with bishop a8, rook b7, queen b8, then b5. I'm waiting for e5 here. This looks fairly solid for white so far. Okay. Not sure what my active plan is. He's aiming for e5. Clearly he's going to provoke f6. I'll have a terrible bishop. He can win strategically. It's bishop f1. If I play f6. But otherwise e5 is going to roll me over anyway. So I don't know. This position's always a bit tricky, I find. Maybe I can take like this and get a knight to d6 later. Knight e8 to d6. So f6, knight e5. Takes to try and get knight to d6, and then try for b5 again. Hope for the best with this bishop. I could just, if I take on c3, that looks to be asking for too much trouble. If I allow e5, this e file looks just too dangerous. So heading for a strategically lost position after this, with this bishop being terrible. So knight e5. See, not doing much here. Knight h2, huh? I'll try for this b5 over here again. So queen b8 for b5. A bit tied down, really. I suppose he's got knight g4 to h6 coming up. b5 is not on the cards really at the moment, so I haven't really got an active plan. Okay, exchanging off. Wait by the bishop. Oh, that solves that problem. Maybe just get the queens off. Play for the dark squares. Okay, queen f8. Cramped. Actually, I think this rook belongs over here now. If queen f8, queen g7, get this rook over here. Later f5, the queen will be stretched on diagonal. Oh, mind you. Oh, okay, I have to stop e5 again with the queen. That helps, as well as the knight. Get this rook over again, over here. Get in trouble. I can sack the exchange maybe on f3 just to get big knight on e5. Takes rook f3 and a knight e5. Possible. Otherwise it's just crashing through here. Will he allow this exchange sack? Not particularly active game. He's really clamped down from that opening. So e5 takes rook f3, takes knight e5. Can look forward to rook f3. Knight looks good on e5, but how good? Okay, let's try this again. Exchange set with a difference now. G takes will be played if he goes in for this. Oh, no, he's staying on this side. Okay, he's just going to dislodge for playing e5. That's nice. I'll protect this guy. So I'm seriously in trouble now. Is he really going to play on a6? It's probably give me the exchange sack. Play this anyway, I suppose. So knight d7 no longer on the cards. e6, rook f3 takes knight e5. Possible. Try that. Surely it's tempting to play e6 here. Okay, here we go. So knight e5 doesn't actually do anything. One threat, he protects f3 somehow. Big knight on e5 for a moment. Queen f6. Also knight e6 for knight f3 for this bishop on the diagonal. Knight e6 could be handy. If f4, maybe I'll take rook f4. Does queen h6 takes? No. He swallowed a lot of time here, down to his last 6 minutes. Okay, the exchange up, followed through quite systematically with e5 first disrupting my knight on e5. So I'm not winning a pawn or anything. g5 here, knight e4 is h6. And go back for this knight e6 idea soon, I think. Rook f4. Is rook f4 any good? Try and reduce his play. If he moves the king on this diagonal, then knight e6 is going to be more tempting. Actually, rook f4 will hit c4 as well. So rook f4, queen f6. Play something like knight e4. Okay, he's got queen f4s on the cards as well. So I'll play queen f6, I think, rook g1. Just to protect this. Oh, hang on a sec. There's knight e4 there, that's crushing. Whoops. I could be in trouble. Unless knight c4 there, queen f4. No. So knight e4, unless knight takes f3 check. No, it's going to be with check my queen. That looks horrible. Okay, I'm trying to avoid that queen f4. This has all gone horribly wrong. He could sack his queen, play rook g1. Ouch. Okay. This one, okay, maybe knight g6 is the only move. Getting material down. Again. Bishop d3. Rook f4 maybe. Is he going to close this g file or not? Okay, if I close the g file for a sec. If I just go raw exchange down. Is that terrible? Probably. Put my knight back on e5 and on the knight. I don't know. Queen g6 to c2. Is that on the cards? I think my pieces are just stuck. What a terrible position again. Ah dear. Queen G6 to C2. It's not particularly convincing. You can use the F file if nothing else. I think I'd rather get the queens off here and avoid doubling. It can be the exchange up. What about, I don't know, this C4, if I play for A5 for C4, so bishop A6. Try and generate something. Knight B5, maybe knight A6, and this knight D6 is winning, which it probably is. Bishop A6 is on the cards, is it? I don't know if I can hold these pawns. You can just play knight takes, knight D5. These pawns are particularly unpleasant. King's cut off. Okay, so I'll play for knight D5. Could be a threat here. Unprotected piece. Protecting that. So he's got knight F5 on the cards. That looks pretty crushing. Oh, I don't know. It's all a bit dire now. Knight here to here, or this pawn's dropping as well. Whoops. There's no play here. Oh, I'm going to sack a knight for 2 pawns. There's no doubt there'll be a whole rook down, but there's nothing to do here. Get the king in to the rescue in his last 2 minutes. Horrible game. I'm taken then. It's just a whole rook down. You can beat me a whole rook up, surely. Yes. Can I win any pawn here? This D5 one would be handy. If I go for E3 as a square. It's protecting E3, D5 as well. Okay. Oh, it's mating on G8. I didn't have much of a chance there. That's rook G8 mates. You could just play it. Yep. Okay. Miserable game. Didn't have much counterplay. Dreaded London system setup with statistically bad. Just playing for E5. Just extends his space advantage. Tried something here in exchange tech. Maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that wasn't needed. On the other hand, it looks unpleasant. I don't know. I think I need I don't know. Odd. A lot of control there. Comments or questions on YouTube. Thanks so much.